All right, as we learn more about Brandon Staley as the new head coach of the LA Chargers, one of his former players joins me now. Sam Acho said you played for Coach Staley in 2017 with the Bears. First and foremost, thanks so much for being here.
No, glad to be here. Thanks for having me, Chris.
So I'm looking at some of your tweets when Coach Staley was announced as the coach. You had a lot of great things to say. What was it like being in that linebackers room with Coach Staley in 17?
Well, it was great. See, I played with him in 17 and 18, and what people don't realize is that 2017 was my 7th year in the NFL. I had, for lack of better terms, a resurgence that year. I meet up with this coach named Brandon Staley. He saw the best in me. And he saw not only the best in me, he sees the best in all of his players. And then he started pulling it out of me. And that's what a great coach does. A great coach sees the best in his players instead of making excuses and saying, well, this guy's just uncoachable.
So he was there for 2 seasons with you, goes to Denver with Coach Fangio, and then oversees the Rams defense, #1 in the NFL, and all of a sudden a head coach. When you flash back to 17 and 18, did you expect this kind of meteoric rise to head coach for Brandon Staley in really just his 4th year in the NFL?
Well, I actually expected the rise to come faster. And here's why I say that. The NFL is very archaic in a lot of ways. People just do things the way that they've always been done. It's how it is. It's just the way it is. And Coach Staley immediately came in and started changing things, and not in a way that was overly disruptive to his superiors. He still respected Vic and respected the head coach, and he still respected people, but he started just bringing a new kind of energy to our meeting rooms, bringing a new kind of energy to the team meeting, bring a new kind of energy to the practice field and also on game day. And so I expected a quicker rise. And then you saw the success we had not only in 2017, but in 2018, where in Chicago, we have the #1 ranked defense in the entire NFL. Everyone has seen not only the ability, but also just the demeanor that he has as a coach. And so I'm not surprised at all.
Sam, you also said he's the smartest dude in the room, but he doesn't act like it. What do you mean by that?
He's actually the smartest dude in the room. I believe he has a genius IQ. You're going to have to ask him on that, but I know he has a photographic memory. He's not going to tell people about that either. He's brilliant. He's brilliant. And I don't use that as a word to throw around. He actually is brilliant, but he doesn't act like it. Some people are the smartest in the room and they have this like air of superiority about
Sure.
them. Like you can't talk, and he's not that way. He actually will. He's super humble. So he'll teach you, he'll listen to you, he'll learn from you, and then he'll give you information in a way that you can digest it, not in a way that just only makes sense to him.
Do you have a memory from 17 or 18 that stands out, a personal story regarding Coach Staley that you'll never forget?
I think one of the stories, when he first came to Chicago, we had some characters on our defense. We had some interesting personalities. And so when this, young, almost slim, quarterback-looking guy, white guy comes to our room, we're thinking, who is this guy? And I remember all the conversations that Coach Staley and I would have about not necessarily how can I relate to these guys. It was like, man, I'm trying any way you can help, or what would you think, or how's it going, right? He would actually ask for feedback.
Yeah.
It was interesting. He'd ask for feedback, and that blew my mind because so many coaches don't relate and they don't make the effort. Whereas Coach Staley, he'd invite guys to his house, right? No matter where you were from, he always, every week before the game, he'd bring a handmade card, handmade by his son, right? He always talk about his wife, Amy. I mean, this guy, as a young man, you look at this guy and say, man, I want to be like this guy when I grow up. And so I saw it firsthand by his humility, by the way he would ask questions, want to get to know players, and also the way he wouldn't just write people off. He would want to get to know you. He'd ask for feedback, and he wasn't afraid to say he was wrong.
What we've heard thus far, we talk about communicator and family man and somebody who loves his family. And, that's the type of culture I think the Chargers are building. And it's great to have somebody like that. I want to get into defense, but I want to bring this home too with Justin Herbert. Coming off that record-setting rookie year, what will Brandon Staley bring to Justin Herbert at the quarterback position?
Brandon Staley played quarterback in college. He is an offensive-minded coach. Yes, he's been coordinating defense in the NFL, but he played quarterback. He's a quarterback. And so even as a linebacker, his first year in the NFL, I'm sitting here like, why is this quarterback coaching defense? That was my mindset. And so now it's funny how the roles have reversed. People are saying, why is this defensive coach coaching a quarterback? But no. He has the best of both worlds. He's a quarterback. He has the offensive mindset, but he has the experience on the defense as well. And so as he coaches defensive players, he actually coaches us from a quarterback's perspective, from a quarterback's vision. So the reason I say that he's a perfect fit for the LA Chargers and for Justin Herbert is that Justin Herbert is a phenomenal quarterback, a phenomenal talent. But like any player, like any person, you need coaching, you need tutelage. You need someone who's going to bring out your best. Sure. And Brandon Staley has all their credentials, the intelligence, the ability. He has this moxie, this personality, this fire, this vigor inside of him that everyone is attracted to. And that's why Jalen Ramsey played so well. That's why Aaron Donald played so well. There's so many players who played so well because he brings out the best.
It's a perfect segue into the defense, because you look at this Chargers defense, all the individual pieces, right? Joey Bosa, Derwin James, Casey Hayward. And then I look at the linebacking core. What is he going to bring to these pieces? Denzel Perryman, Kenneth Murray, and Drew Tranquill.
Every position group on the offensive and defensive side of the ball will benefit from Brandon Staley as head coach. Brandon Staley coached, if you'll recall, Khalil Mack. And Khalil Mack balled, right? Like, I'm talking to Khalil Mack that was like 12 and a half sacks, 5.5 forced fumbles. That Khalil Mack. He coached that Khalil Mack at a linebacker. He also coached a guy named Von Miller, right? Who also balled under, but also he coached guys like me. He coached Sam Acho, who had one of his best years in years. He helps everyone elevate. That's a linebacker position. And then go to defensive line. Obviously, Joey Bosa fits in those same categories.
Sure.
All these guys are going to benefit defensively from Brandon Staley and his scheme and his style of defense. And offensively as well, Justin Herbert setting records as a rookie already, right? Imagine having the mind of Brandon Staley. I'm excited, man. And every Chargers fan, be excited. Be excited, because if they give him the keys, it's going to be amazing.